Right, so you think it's difficult to translate mechanics into words? Think about your players. Try translating words into mechanics, because that's what we've done in the past. I know I've done it. All right, so you think about a process of a puppeteer. If I handed you guys a puppeteer, I said, hey man, make that thing pitch, make it move. You'd be like, what the hell, Lance? You crazy? So the first thing you do, you would assess your strings. Is everything tight? Is it loose in the right places? Is everything going together? Is there no knots? That would be your assessment. Next thing, on top of that sucker where they're moving it, because this is how our brain works, it's homunculus. How it's going to work is I've got to know where each body part is. You ever thought about how you can close your eyes and just go straight to your nose? Your body has a map of where it perceives the body parts are. So you've got to clearly label your strings. That's proprioception and kinesthetic awareness. Then you want to limit the initial amount of strings initially. So if I gave you a puppet, we'd probably start off with 3 or 4 strings. I wouldn't give you the one that's got 1,000 with all these different handles. So when we go into progressions, we will start off on double knees, because so many of the problems I see are guys want to push or extend. They confuse extension with rotation. So by taking the feet and the knees out, now the brain knows it's only got one problem to solve. Because a lot of times that's stability. Stability is in place to prevent unwanted motion. We think of stability as a strength issue. Add simple movements, then you're going to add more complex movements, then we're going to challenge and distract the movements. Watch this dude. Now this guy's pretty coordinated, but see if you can tell the difference between this guy and the next guy. So think about this. He's running the strings, he's controlling. That's proprioception, that's mind-muscle connection. That's how he's moving. Now watch this man.
I'm going to sing my song. It won't take long.
You got to think, man, this skeleton can't talk. It doesn't understand him. How does he get him to move like this? But we're talking to players that can talk, can understand, and we're butchering the process. Dude's using core velocity belt, hadn't he? I mean, seriously, think about that. You guys would agree. I mean, what you saw in the first video, he was pretty coordinated. But the difference between the skeleton in the first and the skeleton in the second, the guy in the second video, he could turn off muscles. The other one didn't have that. So really, when you think about the speed of the chain, it's your ability to turn off muscles that's going to speed it up. And that just comes from body awareness. The better, the more clear your maps are labeled, more proprioception, the more aware you are, you're the guy that's being patted on the back and saying, wow, man, you got great mechanics. What drills have you been using? Because that's what everyone wants. They want drills. But drills do not fix movement problems. Really, the only thing the drill does is it screws mechanics. And I'm guilty of it. All right, muscles are a puppet to the nervous system. So look on the left. That's a homunculus. Like that's the little controller the brain's using. That's how the brain perceives your body. And you've got to think on the more that I use a body part, the bigger that map, the clearer that map becomes. So you look to the right, that's how the puppeteer is controlling the puppet. So there's the mind-muscle connection. That's what we're looking for. We're trying to get a clearer map. But what we do is we take guys that don't move very well and we try to put them in drills. That's like saying, hey man, you don't know your multiplication tables, so let's go ahead and jump straight into long division. You're just making the problem more complex. They don't have the necessary awareness. Again, it's impossible to verbally communicate coordination.